What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast. Now, I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if the Spyro Reignited Trilogy is only for kids. So now, I have bought the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. We actually got it on the day of release, and my girlfriend and I were playing it, and we actually live streamed it on our channel. And a couple of video ideas came to me that we bounced around, my girlfriend and I wanted to make them into videos and talk about with you guys. And so some of these are going to be focused on just the game, and that's what this one is going to be talking about. Is, like I said, is Spyro for kids. So now, I don't want to play the insulting game. I'm not going to go after Spyro. I don't want to go after Spyro for any of these videos because when it comes down to it, this game is actually good. Okay, firstly, I absolutely think this game is beautiful. I think it's a really, really nicely made remake. It looks absolutely terrific. It looks better than the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, which I want to talk about in the future videos. But when it comes to this game, however, I myself am not the biggest Spyro fan in the world. I played them as a kid. It wasn't my franchise. And my girlfriend was playing it, and one of the things she told me is that she felt that the game is really, really fun to play, and I agree. I mean, when I was watching her play, it's fun. Like, it's just, you go through the motions, you do what you have to do in the game. It looks really, really nice. You get the nostalgia factor of playing a game that you used to play, when you were a kid. But she said after that happens, after, you get the love and the nostalgia of the old Spyro games, it really just becomes just a game, and it really becomes a game that really does seem like it's made for kids. And I do not think that that's an insulting thing at all. I feel like, firstly, Spyro, when it was first made, was aimed towards kids, just like I think Crash Bandicoot was, just like I think Sly was. They were all made for children. And now I'm not talking 3-4-year-olds, because Spyro, it's not the easiest game in the world, but it's definitely way, way, way easier than the Insane Trilogy. Okay, I really think after playing it a little, and after seeing my girlfriend play it, and getting her opinion on it, and even I've seen on articles of different websites too, and people have told me in the live streams, the game is not hard. This game is a very simplistic, easy game. There really is not much to it. Enemies follow patterns, and yes, they follow patterns in every game. But just overall, this game does seem to be a bit dumbed down. And again, that is not insulting the game. This video isn't meant to say, if you're a grown adult playing this game, you shouldn't be playing it because it's only for children. But at the same time, I do feel like this game is geared to get people that played the Spyro games back in the day, just like the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, when they remade that. But the goal is to get new people to play the game, okay? Get a new audience, and that's ultimately how you're going to get a new Spyro in the first place. And that's actually the next video I want to talk about. But when you get that happening, it actually makes a ton of sense, and it's not an insult at all. It just is common sense that, yes, you want to get people that have played this game before, but you're also aiming to get brand new people, and those people are not grown adults. I do not think, somebody who is in their 20s, who has never played Spyro, who didn't, maybe just didn't play video games when they were a kid, and they're playing Red Dead Redemption, or maybe you're a teenager. Maybe you're a teenager and, the PS3, Xbox 360 was your first console generation that you jumped into, and, you didn't play the PS2, you didn't play any of those games, and you're playing like Red Dead, you're playing Assassin's Creed, you are not going to get Spyro. I mean, come on, if you did, you're going to play the game and be like, this is the most simplistic thing ever. You just go through portals, you collect gems, which is a lot of what those games were back in the day. You kill enemies, with the same 2 moves. They all have their own, special thing about them, but they're all very, simplistic in their nature, that you can tell what they're going to do, and you can counter them, and, and that's all you do. That's all you do. The game actually gets a little bit boring, I think. I think the game, you just constantly are doing the same thing over and over again. And again, all fine and good, I think, when you're a child. If you're 6, 7 years old, I think you're going to adore this game. We're actually going to be keeping Spyro so that our kids can play Spyro as they grow up, which, and in Crash Bandicoot, along the same lines, again, I do want to make a video comparing the two, but, Crash is also a game, I think, meant for kids, but Crash has a harder learning curve, I think. I think Crash is generally a harder game overall. Spyro is not a hard game. Maybe the controls are a little bit different now. The camera is a little bit weird. The game doesn't mess with you as much as Crash did. Obviously, if you remember, when Crash Insane Trilogy came out, the difficulty curve spiked. It was even harder than it was back in the day, and that was even because people, saw Vicarious Visions actually, what they actually did with, having to remake it. It ended up making Crash harder. So there's actually like development, facts behind it that said that the game got harder. Spyro actually feels easier, and that could be a pretty, blanket statement. Obviously, the game is going to be easier nowadays because we're grown adults than when we were kids. But that's just what you generally get. And again, this is what I think this this game was meant to be. So, you know, this video may be just telling you something you already know. I personally do not think Crash is made for adults, okay? It's made to get the nostalgia factor out of you, maybe. I think after you do that, after that nostalgia factor is out there, you know, and once it's gone, and once you're like, okay, I remember playing Spyro, this is cool, you know, I'm having fun, I remember this level, I remember this boss, whatever. After that wears off, and it will wear off probably within an hour, then you're just going to say, why am I playing this game? And you know, will that hurt the game? Well, for that kind of market of people, I think it will. I think, again, for children, though, it's a perfect game. I really do think this game is a game that really can not just get people into Spyro, but, you know, it's a modern game that obviously is just a remake of the old games, and as a parent, you can say, hey, look, I played this game, you know, when I was a kid, and now you get to play it, and it looks way better, and it controls way better, and, you know, all this stuff, and, you know, you can maybe help them through it because you know how easy it is now because you're playing the game. So let me know in the comments below, guys, do you think Spyro is made, this new remake is made for children? Is it only a kids game, or can grown adults play it as well? And again, we're going to have more Spyro videos going out over the next couple of days. I want to talk about if this is going to get a new Spyro game in general, and I also want to talk about comparing this to the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. So those are the next two videos coming up, and I hope to see you guys there.